For KBRFradio.com News, I'm Derek Sidian, and this is the weekly news recap, brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonememorials.com, memorials that matter, and Lilligards, your local Mahindra dealer on Highway 13 West, Wahpeton. Three 19-year-old men were arrested early last Friday morning after illegally entering the Rusty Nail in Battle Lake and making their own food. According to court documents, Battle Lake Police Chief Eric Dyson received a report of a burglary in progress at the Rusty Nail and that the owner chased the suspects out and they were running down a nearby alley. Chief Dyson was nearby and saw three individuals running, and one of the restaurant owners pointed them out as the suspects. Chief Dyson was able to follow them in his squad car as they ran, and when he activated his sirens, they eventually stopped running. The individuals were identified as Diovion Bell of Alexandria, Marcus Sewell of Underwood, and Jaden Hansen of Fergus Falls. Chief Dyson asked the trio where they were running from, and they told him that they had been in the apartments above the Rusty Nail. Security footage showed the three individuals enter the restaurant from a door that led to the upstairs apartments. The footage also showed all three suspects making food, including French fries, onion rings, and bacon, and touching and contaminating food in the preparation area. The trio were arrested and have been charged with misdemeanor third-degree burglary and consumption of liquor under the age of 21. They made their first court appearance Monday. 29-year-old Jose Nestor Garcia Pena of Purim has been arrested and charged with third-degree assault for an incident that occurred on October 8, 2022. According to court documents, the victim told officials that she had been at a residence in Purim with a group of people, including her boyfriend, later identified as Garcia Pena. She said she received a text message from someone, and Garcia Pena got mad and accused her of cheating before repeatedly punching and kicking her in the face and body. She also said he dragged her down the stairs and outside to try to get her to leave with him while he continued to hit her, but she was able to get away. Later that month, officers were able to get in touch with Garcia Pena. He told the officers that he and the victim had been at a house party and that throughout the evening, he had gotten into multiple altercations with other people and several tried to start fights with him. He claimed that when he was getting ready to leave, someone came behind and grabbed him. He says he turned around and tackled the person to the ground and began punching and kicking them before realizing that it was his girlfriend. He said he doesn't know why, but he continued to assault her after realizing it was her. Medical records obtained by the state indicated that the victim sustained a minimally displaced nasal fracture and received sutures to close lacerations on her arm and forehead. Garcia Pena was arrested Sunday night based on a warrant that the state issued in December 2022. He made his first court appearance Monday morning. At around 7:30 Monday evening, the Minnesota State Patrol responded to a single vehicle crash on I-94 near Ashby. According to officials, a 2018 Subaru Crosstrek had been heading east on I-94 and failed to transition in the construction zone. It continued in the closed construction area, struck a dirt embankment, launched off the bridge, and finally came to a stop in the median. The driver, a 44-year-old Fergus Falls man, was reportedly uncooperative with law enforcement and had to be extricated from the vehicle. He was taken to Lake Region Hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. 24-year-old Zachary Seberg made an escape attempt from the Ottertail County Probation Office the day before his next court appearance. At around 12:09 Monday afternoon, the Fergus Falls Police Department received a call stating that Seberg had ran away from the probation office heading north on Mill Street. According to the report, Seberg was running away while still handcuffed. He was quickly located at an apartment building downtown and was arrested. Seberg was scheduled to return to court Tuesday afternoon for an omnibus hearing. He is facing felony drug charges after having been caught with 264 grams of methamphetamine, 24 grams of cocaine, and a baggie of M30 fentanyl pills in an incident with the Minnesota State Patrol last month. This also follows another run-in with Fergus Falls Police on September 24th, where he was discovered with a small baggie of methamphetamine while on bail, but claimed that the drugs weren't his and that he had just put them in his pocket when he saw law enforcement out of panic. Seberg is now additionally charged with misdemeanor escape from custody and misdemeanor fleeing a police officer by means other than a motor vehicle. A semi-load of municipal solid waste delivered to the Dakota landfill in Gwinner, North Dakota was flagged in a routine waste screening process for suspected hazardous medical waste. The waste load came from the Ottertail County Solid Waste Transfer Station in Fergus Falls. The load was returned to the transfer station for further review. On October 8th, with the assistance of trained health and safety specialists, the trailer was partially unloaded. One bag weighing less than 20 pounds, containing non-hazardous medical waste, was identified. Otter County Solid Waste Director Chris McCann says the public and county staff are not at risk. The County Solid Waste Department will review the incident to consider educational opportunities with local medical service providers to properly document hazardous and non-hazardous medical waste. The identities of the two victims of a fatal car crash in Detroit Lakes on Tuesday have been released. At around 1:47 Tuesday afternoon, the Minnesota State Patrol responded to a 3-vehicle crash near mile marker 269 on Highway 59 in Detroit Lakes. According to officials, a sedan and a van were heading north and another van was heading south. All 3 vehicles were involved in the crash, though the sequence of events is still under investigation. The occupants of the sedan, 33-year-old Cole Carlson of Detroit Lakes, and his passenger, 60-year-old Stacy Nelson of Hawley, were pronounced dead at the scene. They were both not wearing seatbelts at the time of the crash. The occupants of the southbound van, a couple from Boston, were transported to Essentia ER for non-life-threatening injuries, and the driver of the other van was uninjured. At around 10:27 Tuesday morning, the Otter County Sheriff's Department responded to a crash between a passenger vehicle and a farmer's feed mill truck. According to officials, a 77-year-old Richville man was driving on County Highway 1 a few miles northeast of Fergus Falls when he crossed the center line and sideswiped the feed mill truck. The 77-year-old had to be extricated from his vehicle by the Fergus Falls Fire Department and was transported to Lake Region Hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. The 49-year-old man from Rothsay driving the truck was uninjured. Both vehicles were reported as having suffered severe damage and had to be towed from the scene. The police chief in Battle Lake says an investigation has determined that a fire that destroyed Stubbs' Dining and Gunpowder Bar last month was not suspicious. Police Chief Eric Dyson says the conclusion was reached after an investigation by a deputy state fire marshal and a fire consulting company hired by the insurance carrier of the historic bar and restaurant. Dyson also says the origin of the blaze could not be pinpointed. The fire broke out on September 16th. The business was on off-season hours at the time and was not open when the blaze started. The roof of the barn-like building collapsed as several fire departments fought the flames. Earlier this week, Ottertail County Sheriff Barry Fitzgibbons presented life-saving awards to Hunter and Alexis Knutson. The life-saving award is awarded to any civilian person who has performed an act which may be deemed to have saved the life of any person, and such act has been reviewed and nominated by a sheriff of the county in which this event occurred. On August 9th at around 9:45 in the evening, Alexis, Hunter, and 2 others had been on a boat on East Lost Lake that took on water and then sank. Alexis and Hunter were able to get to shore, where Hunter retrieved a throwable cushion. Hunter then swam back to where the victim was underwater and was able to pull him back to shore, where Alexis was waiting to assist. The victim was placed on a dock, and Alexis provided CPR compressions. The compressions were successful, and the victim regained consciousness. The victim was transported to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Alexis and Hunter were directly responsible for saving the life of the victim and disregarded their own safety with their actions. This has been the Weekly News Recap, brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonmemorials.com, memorials that matter, and Lilligards, your local Mahindra dealer on Highway 13 West, Wahpeton. For KBRFradio.com news, I'm Derek Sidian. Tune in every Friday at 12:30 on KBRFradio.com or on the Fergus Now app to stay up to date with local news. Get more news at KBRFradio.com. Sign up for email news sent right to your inbox, delivered by Cooper's Office Supply.